सतगुरु को जाए। बोलिए सतगुरुदेव भगवान की, सच्चे दरबार की।
बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज जी की। I think I've told this multiple times that when we say Sadhguru Maharaj Ki Jai, it is not hailing to a person, it's hailing to what Guru gave you. Sadhguru, the true Guru, Maharaj. Maha means great, Raj means secret. The Guru who gave us that great secret, we hail to the great secret. And Jai means two, Ja for Jagat, the world, Ya for Yash. Attaining positivity, attaining the world with our world and with all the accomplishments of our world. With the Jai, we come to you and we greet you and we thank you with everything we got for what you have given us. That's what you say Jai means. So we're just not saying this out of fun. Every single thing that comes out of someone's mouth and is put into spiritual setting has deeper meanings than what we made them to be. Like putting a tilak on your forehead. It is such a basic thing now. It had such deep meanings. When we say Pati Parameshwar, have you heard this before? Pati Parameshwar? That your Pati is your Parameshwar? Take a look at the Parameshwar's face one more time and ask yourself, does that look like a Parameshwar to you? Does the habits portray Parameshwar when you look at your husband? I'm not undermining husbands over here, please don't catch me outside, but Pati, Parameshwar, no, Parameshwar Pati. We changed the words around because it was convenient. In scripture it says, Vyah hoya mere babula, avinashi var paya. Var is a groom. Var means the one who takes you, a husband is a var. There's other meanings for word too, but let's stick with this one. Avinashi, the one that cannot be destroyed. Var paya avinashi, na kabhi jale na jaye. Now, if that doesn't speak volume, I'll translate it in a second. If that does not speak volume, then what does? Var paya avinashi, I found a var, I found a dulha, if you say it like that, I found a husband who does not get destroyed. Na kabhi jale, you cannot burn that husband. Na kabhi jaye, and that husband does not die. Now look at your husband again. Test him. Go home, light a candle under him. See if there's burn marks. Guess what? He will burn. So who is the real husband? Avinashi. Who's Avinashi? Parameshwar. God is Avinashi. And the marriage was not between men and women only. The marriage was between woman, Istri, and Narayan. Istri and God. Istri is not a woman in today's world. Istri itself, it says, Ik Purush hai is jag mein. There's one male in this world. One male. One guy. Sagali nar savai. Everyone else is a woman. Why? Because your soul is a female essence. Your soul is not masculine. So when you come engaged with God, when you get engagement, put the words together. Wedding outside is a wedding between God and soul. It was never an exterior marriage. That is for procreation. Totally fine. Do what you gotta do. Understandable. But the real marriage that we are missing currently is the marriage between soul and God. When the soul gets married to Avinashi, that's when you put vermilion on your forehead. Where does God resides? He lives inside of you. But God, for example, the one who's a Brahman, Brahman and all these things are stages of life. I've spoken about this last time. Many times I've come here. Where your mind is what your caste is, jat. What's your religion? What is your caste is based off of which stages of body do you live in. If you're always thinking about God, you're living in the upper senses. So now, focus on your eyes when you pray. You fold your hands and you look up to God. He is not sitting in the clouds, brothers and sisters. He's right here. Now, this is Brahmand. Brahm, a circular form on the body, Brahmand. An means like an egg, An means like a circular. 0. This place, Shunya, where nothing resides but God, because God has no form or texture, so you cannot objectify God. When God is here, your eyes, your body, your whole lower senses automatically raise to the top seeking God. That's why we put vermilion here. We're not supposed to put it here. Or here. Or here. Get it together. God lives here. You look up to God. And when your senses, if all you're focused on is what these eyes are seeing, what these ears are hearing, what this nose is breathing, what this mouth is speaking, what this body is doing, and where your lower senses are, if that is where you're living, you are not connected to the higher power, because higher power is above all your 9 senses. When all you think about is your life partner or other people, and you have bad and nasty and disrespectful and impure thoughts, you're living in the lower senses, and that's Shudra, that's low caste. So ask yourself when you go home or wherever you go, which caste system are you belonging to at this moment? Are you always thinking of impure thoughts? Then you are a Shudra. You're living a very incomplete, dirty life. When you're only thinking about money, only thinking about your body, you're living a Vash, you're living a Kshatriya life. But when you are connected to God, that's why it says, Baram Janati iti Brahmana. The Ved scriptures speak. The one who is connected and only focused on Brahma is a Brahman. Getting born into a Brahman family does not make you anything. Do people want to hear that? No, they don't. What does that sound like? A new Brahman. We don't want to know the truth. We want people to lie to us our whole lives. It's like when you don't know how to cook, and you still ask people, how is the food? What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? The truth, or it's great? Right? We make these things in our mind. We live an illusionary life. If you're not dressed well one day, you ask people, how do I look? You look like you just rolled off the bed. You don't want to hear that, do you? No, you look great, amazing. And then you turn around and be like, okay, this person needs a makeover. This is what we do. We want people to lie to us. I'm not saying, these are small, funny examples, but I'm talking about life over here. You do puja with anger. You do puja with greed. You do prayers and havans with lustful, bad, negative thoughts in your mind. When you're doing puja with hatred in your mind, when you're doing puja because you want to be better than the other person, when you're doing puja to put people down, when you're doing puja to be praised, when you're doing puja to make yourself look better, and I did the best puja in all Guyana, guess what? Your pujas are not being accepted because you're living a false pretense life, because you're not doing it for God. You're trying to prove to people that I am better than you. How do you get God in that picture? Where is God? That's why we have to do thousands and thousands of puja, and maybe one of them you did with a pure heart. That's why we have to do so many pujas every year, every month. We have to light a diya every single day just to impress that Lord. But Hanumanji said, "Nijam manam mukul." Clean your inner mirror and see your flaws. Clean your inner mirror and see how bad you are living this life. But that does not mean you're a bad person. Just remember, one successful, pure puja is enough to attain salvation. One pure puja is enough to attain salvation. You still have a life, you're still breathing. Like Swamiji said, a person dies, soul leaves, and that is what you need to connect with. You're connected to the body. So if you really love somebody, just take the body next to a tree and shake it. Hey, breathe, breathe, breathe. Doesn't work. Body is nothing if soul is not connected to God. So always remember, what do you need to fix? Who you need to clear inside of you so you can see yourself better instead of finding flaws and hatred and disrespect and put down and want to be better than the other person. Rather than that, what is going to make you closer to God? What is going to make you a good person? What is going to connect you to that Supreme should be your only and only goal in life. Also remember one thing. I am not saying go ahead and leave your family and become a Swami. I am not saying go ahead and leave your family and start doing pujas and only sit in mandirs and disregard the whole world. I am not saying that. Even our scriptures shunned that. They say that is not needed. There is no happiness in being in a family or world. Sukhna chhad gaya. Leaving all of that to become gods is not going to give you sukh as well. Sukh hai vich vichar de. Think about it. Santa Sharan Peya. When you go into a Guru's Sharan, to the feet of a Lotus Guru, Guru shows you a path. Guru enlightens you. Guru tells you, alright, A, B, C, and that's all you got. Forget about all the other alphabets. X, Y, Z does not matter in your life. A, B, C. But you needs E and F in your life. That's Guru. He teaches you what you need in life. One lady was not having a child. So she goes to a Guru. And she says, please bless me with a child. And she came with such a pure heart. Guru grabbed an apple and handed her an apple. And says, go ahead and eat this and you will be blessed. This lady went. 9 months passed, she had a child. You know what happened after that? All the villagers found out. And they started going to the Guru's place with apples. And they say, Guruji, please bless us. That lady had an apple and you blessed her. Please bless us as well. Look, we brought 4 apples. And Guru says, that apple was just for her. Because that's all she needed. You can give me thousands of apples, nothing's going to come your way. We follow other people's bhakti thinking that if they did it like this, maybe I will become successful. Your bhakti is independent, brothers and sisters. But just remember, how many births did you take to become human? And how many births you were human, you did good and bad karma to bring you into this time. And now you are in this time, and you're following other people's leads. You might have all the good karmas, or you might have all the bad ones. You have all the good karmas, it might not take you that long to come closer to a Guru and understand Brahmagyan, or you've been doing some shady stuff in the past, and now you're struggling to even accept the fact that I need God in my life. And because we've been through phases, that does not mean you don't have the opportunity to fix yourself now. I'm not saying you're broken, but we are human. When it rains, it's wet, it's slippery, right? And when you know it's slippery and you're walking on tiles, you use a very cautionary step when you walk, because you don't want to slip. No one wants to slip. Do you purposely go outside in the rain on a tile, a slippery tile, and just, oh, this is going to be so much fun, I'm going to fall down today? Do you do that? But when it comes to bhakti, what happens? We want to slip. We want to slip. And you know what the slip-ups are? Who walked in late? Who made what? Who didn't say Sitaram to me? Who didn't say Jai Maharaj Ji Ki to me? Who is trying to be mean? Who is trying to be less? I need to be the first person people address. That is the slip-ups in the path of bhakti. In a bhakti place, let them pass. In the path of bhakti, one rule, one and only rule of my life, maybe you can apply it, but remember, this is not an apple, it might not apply to you. If you come to God's place, and God is not your only focus, don't go to that place. But now I'm not saying that place is bad. Prahlad found God while living with the father who did not even want him saying Narayan in the house. Prahlad found God. It's not the place, it's your mindset and who you're focused on. If Prahlad was like, oh, he's my dad, and our scriptures say, listen to your father, respect your father. But if your father is like a Hiranyakashipu, then you need to rethink. Prahlad still found God, and every time Hiranyakashipu put him into snakes, threw him in the ocean, anytime anything bad happened to Prahlad, no one is throwing us into the ocean, brothers and sisters. Those times are gone. Well, you know what the ocean is? How bad it is now? We're listening to satsang, and a person we don't like walk in, here comes the snake, here comes the ocean, and you're distracted. Ocean is not out there, snake. Meera, she has snakes given to her because they wanted her dead because she was a disgrace to her house because she was more focused on God than her own family. Meera found God in the household where nobody liked her. Prahlad found God in a place where nobody liked him. And here we are, living a very comfortable life and still not able to find God. You know why? Because the focus is not God right now. It's okay. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing. It's like, imagine you're listening to satsang and you have a text message. I don't know, maybe it's Donald Trump, but you really need to answer that text message. Or maybe it's the president of Guyana and you really need to talk to this person. Everything distracts us in the path of bhakti. Every single thing distracts us in the path of bhakti. And bhakti means connecting. When you connect, you're a bhakt. But when you disconnect, you're a vibhakt. You're disconnected. And disconnects are so small, and that's why we fail in the path of bhakti. So let's talk about how to fix bhakti. Enough bad talk, let's talk good talk. How do you fix bhakti? Before we get to that, let's listen to a bhajan. I'll sing it this time.